What's up, guys and gals? Thanks for tuning in to Headlocks and Hot Packs, end of the week edition. So that means it is another Figure Friday. We're going to be checking out a handful of figures today. They're a little bit different than anything else we've seen thus far on the channel. The first thing you'll notice is that they are not boxed. And then the second thing you won't be able to notice, but I'm going to describe to you. Here's a look at our first one. These are Die Cast Metals, made by Jada Toys. And the second thing is, they are metal, so there is a good amount of weight to these. Here's our first one. Of course, this is Finn Balor. Comes with, each figure comes with its own little stand here, with the WWE logo. Little peg there. Stick his foot on. They don't really have any articulation other than you can move this one side to side. Of course, this is Demon Balor with his headdress on. These do move here. These are obviously not metal. These are plastic. And they do kind of have some detail. You can see, if you ever notice anytime Balor comes out with this headgear on as the demon, it almost looks like he uses basically leather belts, because you can see the holes where you would stick your little middle part through to tighten the belt. And so they've detailed that here. And you got the face paint, of course, with the teeth going onto the chest. No details on the trunks, however. Just plain black. And then on the back, more paint we have here, and a little bit more detail with his headpiece there. So not a whole lot to these. This one was made in 2016. These toys were only really made from 2016 to 2017, and there's roughly maybe 18 to 20 in total. We're going to be looking at 5 today. You can see it's almost like these have like a plastic over a piece of metal, because you can see, if I can move this here, you know, it's got like seams here, so it's almost like a shell over some metal. The chest here, this is definitely metal, but like the fingers, you know, the fingers move a little bit here, not too much. So as I said, these are obviously not boxed. These are the only figures that I have outside of the mystery minis that I did not keep in the package. Of course, mystery minis, you don't know what you have if you don't open them up, because they come in blind bags. But these I opened up because didn't really see like a whole lot of value in keeping them in the box, and it more or less was a space-saving decision. So that's a look at Finn Balor. Next up, we have the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, and of course his articulation is just a little bit of hip movement there. You can see more seams on him, you know, here on the face, and then his like hairline there. So it does look a little unusual from the front to the back of his head. And much like Balor, no detailing on his ring, not trunks, but shorts here. Of course, Brock always has outside advertisers on his gear, so any of his figures, you're really not going to have any detail on the shorts. He's got his gloves, the trademark sword tattoo on the front, skull tattoo on the back. There's the other, I guess it's become his logo, really, at this point. And the weird thing about this one is just the coloring. You can see that's not the lighting in here. The coloring from his body to his head, like the back of his head, is darker. So kind of unusual. But as with most figures, they have everybody's seemingly got a jacked up physique. The only one that really does not, as I drag that across the table, is this fella here, Kevin Owens. So no seams really with his hairline. I mean, it kind of is there, but you can't really see it because he has darker hair. Again, another one on the neck, the shoulders. Got his trademark wrist tape there, the KO logo, and then, of course, his movement. He's got a little more movement than Brock had. And just like the other two, no logos on the shorts. Not sure why they didn't do that with, why they didn't do any with Kevin Owens. Usually would say like either KO here on the bottom or fight. So I'm not too sure why they didn't really add those, because they were able to do it for some of the other figures. So there's our Kevin Owens there. Next up, we have Kevin's good buddy, Sami Zayn. Again, his hips don't lie. And you can see more seams on him here. So it's a little deceiving because it almost makes it look like you can move the arm around. However, you cannot. So again, that's kind of just where they pieced it together. And as you can see, Sami has some detailing on his gear here. The old SZ logo with the checkerboard. He doesn't really use that anymore. Of course, he's been heel for a little bit now. Here's a look at the back. Not too sure what these circles here are. As you could see here, the Kevin Owens also has one. So I'm not too sure what that's all about. And here's the back. One red elbow pad and one black elbow pad. And these are 4-inch tall figures. There was a number of these made. Some of the ones that I do not have also include Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, a couple of John Cena's, The Undertaker, Sting. You had Paige. You also had Sasha Banks. So there were quite a few. Here's a look at our final one. This is bigger than the rest. This is a 6-inch die cast metals, and this is, of course, the game Triple H. Again, you can see seams on the shoulders here. A little bit more detail on the face, or, well, maybe not more, but probably easier to see on the 6-inch figure. These ones ran for, I want to say, $20 for the 6-inch, whereas the 4-inch ones were only about $9.99 a piece. And again, he's got the hip movement, almost like a Fandango. Do. Yeah. And you see here, Triple H came with the WWE Championship belt. We'll go ahead and see if we can't get that off here, so we can take a look at some more detailing. Another big circle there on the Triple H, so that's kind of interesting. Again, I'm not really sure what that was for. And there we go. You've got your WWE Championship there. Pretty good details on that. And then we'll look at his ring gear there. So Triple H with the trunks does have some detailing on the ring gear, but nothing on the back. So they did it for the front of the Triple H figure, but not the back. That's still better than what they did for Brock, Kevin Owens, or Balor, who I guess they had detailing in other places. So again, these were only made for a couple of years, right around $20 for the bigger ones and $10 for the smaller. You can still find them on Amazon if you're interested at all in any of these. I didn't really check pricing, so it might be more expensive, whereas they're not being made anymore. Or you might be able to get yourself a deal, because they were never really like highly sought after, or became they didn't really catch on like Pop Vinyls or Elites or any other kind of figures did. So that's going to do it for this episode of Headlocks and Hot Packs Figure Friday edition. As always, we would encourage everybody to go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. And if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and do so. So we can start doing some giveaways here in the near future. So once again, thank you for tuning in, and we will be back in a couple of days for our Sunday evening box opening.